Hi, listeners. Welcome to Read Aloud today. So, we ended on chapter 3 yesterday of Kitty and the Tiger Treasure. And if you remember, they were after this thief who was trying to steal the tiger treasure. And they heard him up above where they were. And so they were right on his trail and they were about to go after the sound that they were hearing. So that's where we left off. So today we're going to start here at chapter 4. Kitty ran lightly up the spiral stairs, and the cats dashed after her. Cleo's eyes narrowed when the group reached the top. Her gray tail swayed worriedly as she searched the shadowy room. Kitty heard a creaking sound. "This way," she whispered. At the far end of the gallery, the dog was opening the window with his nose. Kitty crept nearer, her orange sneakers silent on the polished floor. The robber had put the statue down. Maybe if they got close enough, they could snatch the golden tiger back. Pumpkin's tail brushed against a display, knocking over a pile of old coins. They jangled as they rolled around and around in circles. The dog whirled around, and the moonlight gleamed on his patchy coat. His eyes were wide, and he had a strange, faraway look, like someone daydreaming. Here's the picture. Kitty shrank into the shadows, raising a finger to her lips. Pumpkin looked like he was about to meow, but Figaro clapped a paw over his mouth. The thief gave a low bark before picking up the statue, pushing the window open and squeezing through. Kitty raced to the window and looked along the wide ledge, but the dog had already vanished. Slipping outside, Kitty clambered to the roof. With her super night vision, she scanned the shadowy streets. Cleo and the other cats scrambled up beside her. Pumpkin twitched his whiskers nervously. Moonlight poured down, reflecting off the museum's glassy dome. Cleo meowed impatiently. "How could I have been so silly? If I'd been paying attention instead of chatting with all of you, then this would never have happened. It's not your fault." Kitty spotted the dog running down an alleyway. The golden tiger gleamed in his jaws. "Look, there he is, scrambling to the edge." She got herself ready to leap across to the opposite roof. "Be careful, Kitty," called Pumpkin. Kitty felt her superpowers tingling, and her heart skipped with excitement. She was determined not to lose sight of the robber dog. She sprang to the next house and kept on running, her feet barely touching the roof. Using her outstretched arms to balance, she leaped from one house to the next. Her cape flew out behind her, as black as midnight. The ground looked far away, but she wasn't afraid. She trusted her superpowers. She could do this. The Springer Spaniel reached a row of shops. Kitty edged closer, ducking behind a chimney. When the dog glanced around, a moment later, he disappeared from view. Cleo and Pumpkin scampered over to Kitty. "Where did he go?" whispered Pumpkin. There they are. Figaro puffed a little as he caught up. He's obviously a slippery sort of dog. He could be anywhere. Kitty crept to the corner of the building and found a metal staircase. "We can use this fire escape to get down." She tiptoed down the steps, and the cats followed her. The robber dog was hurrying down the street, the statue still clamped in his jaws. He stopped beside a shop, pushed the door open, and went inside. Kitty followed him. She stared up at the store sign, which was lit by a street lamp. "The Happy Paws Pet Shop," she read aloud. "Do you think he lives here?" There's the sign. Pumpkin's eyes were wide. "Maybe he's stealing for his owner." "Very odd," said Figaro. "I haven't heard much about this pet shop. I think it only opened a few months ago." Cleo sighed. Her gray fur was tinged with orange in the glow of the street light. "I should have done a better job. I wasn't watching the museum carefully enough. I have to fix this." "You were doing a good job," Kitty told her. "Let's check the windows and find the best way to get inside." "Great idea. If we can take the thief by surprise." Cleo fell silent as the door opened again. The robber dog darted outside, his eyes wide and glazed. He scampered down the street and vanished into the dark. He doesn't have the statue anymore, said Kitty. He must have left it inside. There's a way in over there. Figaro pointed to an open window. You and Pumpkin should stand guard, ready to warn us if the thief returns, said Cleo. He may be a dangerous kind of dog. Very well, Figaro nodded. Be careful, won't you? Don't worry, we will. Kitty scaled the side of the shop and peered through the window. Do you think the statue's in there? Do you think the dog left it? It was dark inside, and there was a great deal of shuffling and squeaking as the animals moved about inside their cages. Kitty slipped through the window, and then she climbed onto a cupboard and dropped soundlessly to the floor, helping Cleo down after her. Moonlight reflected off the gray-tiled floor. The shop was filled with dozens of cages, tall bird pens, guinea pig and rabbit hutches, and tortoise cages. Toward the back, shelves of pet food and bedding were hidden in darkness. Where do you think he left the treasure? Whispered Kitty. Cleo sniffed the air. It's difficult to follow his scent. There are too many different animal smells in here. Then we'll just have to search. Kitty looked around for possible hiding places. She pointed to the shop counter. I'll look over here. But as she turned, she got the strange feeling that someone was watching her. Kitty saw a pair of dazzling golden eyes studying her from behind the pet food shelves. Kitty's night vision grew sharper. She knew at once that they were cat-size. Jewels winked on the cat's collar. Kitty caught her breath. Who was this new cat? And what did it know about the snatching of the golden tiger? There's the cat she saw. Is this a cat from the pet store? Is this a new cat? I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out tomorrow in Chapter 5. Thanks for listening today. See you tomorrow.